Hello everybody, this is Garthquake here, and today we're going to be talking about my Anti-Material Ordnance Knight build, Amon. The K is silent. What this build does is it literally throws hands using the Shatterwhite comp to add melee damage to the list of passives that our Forge Waves get. Using this comp, you can get quite a bit of soup into these Forge Waves, and guess what? By Forge Waves, it actually just kind of means all of your augments, meaning your Stormland Spears also get that melee buff. You can get some fat dots going with the newly buffed Blackout. And of course, Tail of the Comet being great. Both of those are present on this build. And keeping with the throwing hands theme, of course we've got Slippy, because Gearbox just keeps pushing us towards the Slippy meta. Protein Cell for bossing, Malawan Enhancement to get the most out of some guns that we aren't investing in at all. This is a status effect build, meaning you can use electrical fire to your advantage and use the glorious Stellium. I've talked about this weapon before. I love it. It's just the perfect weapon. Big fat dot, big shock dot. That shock dot can apply a proportionate fire dot, so that means you can get good damage out of this weapon without actually investing into it. Just with this enhancement here and the skill electrical fire. Protein Cell for bossing, like I said, and then Mega Triple Bypass to keep your action skill up and going. Now with Caffeine, the specialization rank will make great use of this. Every time you use it, you will cut off a chunk of your action skill cooldown. And since I've got the accelerator part there, that is even more effective at that. You just use these 3 drugs right here, and you got your action skill back with 0 investment otherwise. That's right, you notice the theme here. Making things happen without actually investing in them. Why is that? Well, let's get right into the skill tree, because it's not a gun build. It's a damage build. So it is a blue tree focus build using the augments from here, but the skill tree actually comes out of red because red is just an awesome skill tree all around. You can use the Stormlance for mobbing. You can also use Blast Chill for mobbing, but I really only use this for armored enemies. Any boss that tanks the Stormlance a little too well, such as Radix, then I'll switch off to this. But for the most part, you can use this for everything, and the build focuses around Blackout. Blackout being the damage dealer here because it's a fat 75% double dip dot that you can copy with Electrical Fire. So you get that 75% dot, and then you get half of that in a fire dot. That's great. I don't know about you guys, but the idea of 2 double dip dots on 1 damage instance, that's awesome. Imagine there were 3. Tail of the Comet is really strong. Tail of the Comet is, or has been, our only double dip dot functioning properly for some time. Gearbox blessed us with the patch today, and I jumped right into the blackout testing to confirm that it is working properly. It is. The only downside is it's not skill damage like Tail of the Comet is. It's a bit strange. But we've got these 2 dots applying to your Stormlances. So these Stormlances kill everything. Easily, too. So, quick rundown with the skill tree. Scorch Kairos, ordnance damage. That's simple. Let's get some soup. The Thrill for healing. Tail of the Comet. Again, this is the double dipped dot. Cryo damage. Fat skill dot. I love this skill. It's great. It's makes pretty much any ordnance usable in this game, at least under Amon. Machinist to regen your slippies. And Blackout, same thing as Tail of the Comet. Again, 2 double dip dots from your ordnance damage, which is also melee damage because of the Shatterweight comp. So then we got the red tree here. We've got crit chance from Discombobulate. Got a ton of soup from Tritanium Knuckles. 60% soup because we are using, again, the Shatterweight comp for the melee and the skill soup. And like I said, Tail of the Comet is skill damage. So you double dip that. Wield the Storm for status effect damage. The duration is nice too. It helps with those short shock dots. It is a little bit deceptive in how helpful it is, but it's nice. Forged in Steel, this is purely for bossing, so you can throw down your firewall and not get nuked immediately. This is if you want to run a Watts for dinner because you don't have a protein cell, or you don't want a protein cell. That's understandable. Catastrophe is great. Global crit chance, skill crit damage. 1 point in Dragon's Breath. This is flexible. You don't actually need to do this. I have this here purely so I can have it, so I can, if I wanted to apply a skill damage passive to an ordnance rocket, I could. I really don't care about the damage as much. Crackling Aegis, just more soup. It isn't technically a double dip, but it behaves like one because each part of it, the status effect and the ordnance part, apply to the formula the whole way through. So in essence, it's a double dip skill, but it's not. It's, yeah. This is just to move down the tree. Tiny little bit of soup. Electrical Fire, like I said, this will create a dot that is 50% the size of the one that procs it. So we've got these big fat shock dots from Blackout, and then you get some big fat fire dots that are created from it. And then since the protein cell is a funny little shield, those fire dots also get the bonus damage from protein cell. So they, in essence, are extra shock dots. So that's why you see shock enemies just absolutely get melted. So that is the skill tree. Getting to the specializations. So we have Honed Mind here. This is for skill crit. We have Fragmentation Payload. This is for ordnance crit. And because this is funny, I'm not going to get into the math here. If you really would like to know, come to my Discord and ask. There's a few people who can explain it, but basically this is very good when you can use it on skill damage like we are doing. It multiplies this. So this is not 50%, it's actually 75% because this, yeah, it gets cursed. The best defense, this is slightly flexible. You could swap this out for Riddle Me That, or yeah, what's it called? Riddle You This if you wanted to use actual guns. I don't use actual guns here. I prefer the Stellium, but you can use stronger weapons like the Chaos or other weapons that will benefit from Riddle You This. That's a decent chunk of gun damage. Now with caffeine, this is necessity. You need this, you need fragmentation payload, but this makes the build function because we didn't invest in cooldown whatsoever. So now with caffeine is the investment. Just this one specialization rank and a triple bypass with the 3 charges, and you can get your action skill back in less than 10 seconds easily, no issues, as you can see in the gameplay footage. And that is the skill tree breakdown. Again, I didn't really go deep into the weaponry because it doesn't matter much. I use a stellium. This is the same stellium that I used in my dot shot build. And then there's some other cheesier weapons you can use. Like I've got a TK's Wave with stickies here. That's okay. The shrapnel cannon with stickies puts in work for the fleshy guys, like if Deceptus gets in his egg. Got a taser here. Tasers are overpowered as shit. And then finally, the firmware. That's the last bit of information we got to go over. Action Fist, Real Big Fist, and Get Throwing. So you went 2 out of 2 Action Fist, you went 2 out of 2 Real Big Fist, and the final one being Get Throwing. This is because it's all soup for your melee and ordnance. This is a lot of soup here. That is 55% soup for your Stormlance. That is 25% soup for your Slippies. 50% soup for both of them. 10% soup for both of them. 115% soup from this. Just from this, from your firmware. And that is it for Anti-Material Ordnance Night. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Amon builds. I will keep pumping them out as fast as I can think of them and optimize them and do everything I can to make sure that it is a quality build for you to have fun with. Thanks. Bye-bye.